Hi there, Libra. Healing Grasshopper here to do your monthly reading for August 2025. Oh, the Chariot. Very nice. Okay, we'll see if that's reversed in a moment. One more, please. Hope you guys are doing well in this heat. Okay. Yeah, the Chariot. Not reversed. Okay. You are moving away from pain. Um, there have been some very painful things that you've gone through in the past handful of years here that you haven't quite realized that you're being released from. And you are not alone. There are quite a few other signs that are in this energy. I'm trying to remember who, certainly Capricorn, um, Leo, I believe, maybe a little bit of Cancer. But by the way, I usually talk about this at the end, but Spirit is telling me to tell you now. There are other messages for you that your sun sign isn't your only video that you should be watching. There is your moon, your north node, and your rising signs as well that have messages in them. And the reason why this is coming up now is because this energy here is very similar to a lot of other signs. So I think that you'll find that if you look at the other videos corresponding to the signs that I was just talking about, your moon, your north node, and your rising, you'll feel even more confident moving forward in this chariot. If you don't know what those are, you can calculate those online. Just Google calculate my blank sign, and there'll be plenty of sites that'll do it for you for free. And then once you find out what that sign is, you come back and watch the videos for those signs. Okay? Because moving away from this 10 of swords is going to be important. This card is often nicknamed the the beating a dead horse card. You know, like, how many more swords are you going to stick in this poor guy's back? He's dead already. This is like it's over and done with. You've been through a whole lot, but you can. Oh, and then the after tarot just came to mind too. I think it was Leo that got the Ten of Swords. And um, Spirit reminded me of the after tarot that I don't use very often. The before and after tarot are remarkable decks that are in the same style as Pamela Smith, the same artist that did Rider Waite Smith decks. And the before shows the scene, say before this, and after is the scene after, like after he gets up and takes the swords out of his back and that kind of thing. So anyway, the spirit was um directing my attention to the after tarot. Maybe I'll do bonuses this month with the after tarot. Um, so yeah, I'll do that. Let me make a note for myself. So, um, whoops, what am I doing? I also in the Leo reading, I think it's Leo anyway, I'm not sure, but I talked about uh the elephants tied to the pole. There is a really great story of a baby elephant who, as a baby, was tied to a pole with like a thin rope, almost like a string. And when he was little, he was not strong enough to break it and grew up learning that he was couldn't escape from a pole. But as he got older and stronger, he was still tethered to that pole by that same string and had no idea that he had the strength to just walk away from the pole and break the string, right? This is that energy here. Um, and it's like spirit is in the car waiting for you to get up and get in the chariot. It's like, come on, Libra, it's time to go. It's time for you to move away from this energy. And how glorious is that? Who wants to stay in this energy? Certainly not Libra. Knight of Pentacles. Under the chariot is saying that the chariot is not a bullet train. Okay. Yes, you are moving away from this energy, but there's going to need to be a degree of patience while you're moving away from the energy, and especially patience with yourself. There's going to be, as you're moving away from this energy, a lot that you're going to need to work through. There's healing to do and reconciling of, negative self beliefs and like transmuting of those self beliefs and all sorts of work and self improvement that we need to do as we're moving forward. And that's going to take a lot of belief in oneself, faith in oneself, and also forgiveness of oneself and patience, grace for oneself. But also faith in the universe that things are going to change for you because we are in a transitional energy of Pluto moving or nestling into the new energy of Aquarius because for the past 20 years, and my subscribers know that I talk about this a lot, Pluto being in Capricorn for the past 20 years and moved fully into Capricorn, into Aquarius in November. But because this is a 20-year energy, it's going to take a bit for Pluto to nestle into its new energy. So there is a transition period of, I cannot tell you when or how long, but certainly several months after this transition. But I have seen a change in the readings where last year in 2024, everyone was like, the sky is falling. Like, this sucks. Nothing good has been happening for me for years. My world is ending, right? But this year has been not perfect, but we've been seeing the cards change with a lot of chariots and wheel of fortunes and world cards and major arcana where like judgment cards where spirit is like, okay, wake up collective. The energy is changing. You can climb out of the swamp now. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and prepare yourself for better times because they are coming. But it is a transition period. It's not a snap of the fingers and everything's changed. Okay? So, but you can look forward to things improving for you. King of Cups is ours. Is that our focus card? Yes. Okay. These for us? No. The card under? No. Any of these for us? All of them? This one. This one? Not this one. Okay. So King of Cups in the center is totally confirming what I just said. The King of Cups is one who has a healthy relationship with his own emotions. It doesn't mean that everything goes well for him. It means that he is always prepared for turmoil and pain and traumas. And how is he prepared for them? Because he's been through pain himself and he has learned how to deal with it and transmute it. And he doesn't let his emotions affect his decision making, that kind of thing. You know, he's even tempered and rational and all of those things. But at the same time, he's got a fully healthy, open heart as well. Okay? So that kind of energy is very much needed in this kind of environment where you've been through pain and difficulty, but you're moving forward and needing to, like I said, sift through everything you've been through, but having the strength and the vision and the confidence and enthusiasm. I have a sudden lisp. I don't know where that came from. Enthusiasm to move forward. King of Cups is the perfect energy for that. The world. What did I say about the world showing up a lot? You're going to need this energy because you're moving. There are major changes in your life ahead. The world is about, well, and look at the world is under the Ten of Swords here. The world is about moving through a portal, fueled by your own karma, by the way. It's like the universe has flipped a switch here. Once like your karma meter has reached a certain level, right? So you can think of it in two opposite directions, but the same outcome. Your good karma raising up to the ding, 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 tilt level. But also you can look at it as you releasing all of your karmic debts too. You coming to that point where you have unloaded your karmic debt, not just from this lifetime, but through your past lifetimes, right? And that segues me into your North Node, because I mentioned that earlier. That is where following your North Node is going to be important here. Because in between your South Node and your North Node is your karmic debt. And the shedding of that karmic debt will propel you into your North Node. And I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of that because I'm going to do a video about it, and it would just make this video too long. But I think that's enough to, ignite some excitement in you because you really need to recognize this moment and this month as a turning point in your life in moving away from this. But you have got to believe it, right? Because you've got the Seven of Swords here, which is all about doubt and immersing your not emerging from that energy and that bad taste in your mouth and that feeling of the adults elephants still being attached to the pole, right? The Four of Swords is the take it easy, keep your pants on card in this reading. It's not always keep your pants on, but in this reading it is because it's under the Knight of Pentacles. And I talked about patience. And this is about taking a rest, but it's also about assessing what you've been through in the past as well. The story of this card is about soldiers, knights, who after battle had this very strange ritual of lying down in coffins after. And it's about a reflection of what they went through and an appreciation of being alive. And in a recognizing that they could have died, but they're not. They're perfectly alive and well. So you understand? So that's what this is about. Reflection of what you've been through and a processing it and deriving something positive from it that you can take with you moving forward. Okay? Very beautiful energy. Feel the cards wanting to come out. Queen of Pentacles. Whenever there's a king and a queen of any combination, it talks about balance of masculine and feminine energies. So, you know, we've got there's extra balance here too. This is such a nice energy because emotions we associate with female energy, right? And then material, uh, the material realm and possessions and ambition and that kind of thing, we associate more with masculine energy. But we've got the roles reversed here. It's the perfect balance. You've got a creativity. There's so much here. It's making my head spin. Whoa, where do I start with this energy? Okay. So look, we've got a desire for something better for ourselves on this material plane, and that is stability and comfort and abundance, right? But in order for us to get that, there's got to be an emotional fortitude moving forward that will also lead us to emotional fulfillment as well. So we've got fulfillment of both, but complementing each other and help and feeding each other at the same time, if that makes sense. We're going to get back to that, especially when we pull out our clarification card. That's an important energy. I'm sure a balance card will come out like Temperance or Two of Pentacles. Well, Temperance, probably. Look at the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the world and the Wheel of Fortune coming out a lot. And in the last reading of Virgo got both of these cards too. So we are talking about here, we talked about karma. And both of these cards are involved with karma, right? Because I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if you look in the corners here, they've got the same thing going on, right? We've got the lion here, the ox, we've got this bird here, and the human figure here. And here the human figure is kind of angelic looking. But it's still, this is still the often here. And what this is talking about is karma. God sees everything, and everything happens in divine timing. Um, so this is a karmic turning point for you. And you've got an upright wheel of fortune. This is talking about you accruing good karma. But it can also talk about what I said of you graduating from your karmic debt as well. And it's happening in this month of entering a new paradigm. And entering new paradigms never feel like a flip of a switch, but you do feel at some points, often after the fact, you don't notice while you're going through the paradigm, but at some point when you're feeling the culmination of the energy of the new paradigm, right? You've gone through the portal already. And at some points, the energy will become so different that you're going to notice, right? Especially while you're looking back at what you've been through. You're going to notice the contrast like, wow, look at how awful it was last year or 2, 3 years ago, and look at where I am now. There's going to be some kind of moments this month where you're going to be like, oh, wow, look at me. One more, please. And you know what? The readings have been a little longer for this month too, because I feel like this is a really, really important month for the collective. We're really starting to break free from that old energy, and I'm glad. One more, please. Oh, fairness. High Priestess. Intuition. Okay, Libra. Um, my eyes just went to the swords here. There is kind of a caveat that I've been giving the earth signs. Every now and then this year, but mostly this month, where I remind the earth signs that our our go-to energy is not water. We are earth, and intuition is water, right? And I know you're not earth signs. You guys are air signs. I'm getting to it, right? But You air signs, just like the earth signs that I had to remind, I'm also reminding you of your natural energy is air, your go-to energy. And sometimes we've got to remind the um non-water signs to get in touch with the water within them, their intuition. Because for Earth, we can be, and I'm saying we because I'm an Earth sign, we can be very much immersed in the physical plane to the point where we're we're creating somewhat of an imbalance and being too immersed in the earth. All of the other signs can do that too, where they're too much engulfed in their natural elements, right? Yours is air. Be careful for this month, especially Libra, that you're not too much in your thoughts, especially here, right? Because my eyes went as soon as I pulled this out, I went straight here, right? Don't stay in this energy too long. This is like spinning your wheels in uh thoughts that don't serve you, right? This is going to set you free from this. Getting in touch with your water, with your intuition. And Libra, this literally means taking the time to have a conversation with spirit. If you don't feel comfortable doing it out loud, that's fine. You can do it in your mind, but have a chat. If you've never done it before, you will be surprised at how productive it is. And after you have a chat with your spirit guides, and how do you do it? Just like I'm talking to you right now. You are going to almost pretend that is someone or many someones in front of you. Because I'm of the belief that you have more than one guardian. You have a team of guardians. Talk to your guardians and have a little powwow with them, huddle, whatever it is that you're worried or frustrated, sad or afraid or anxious about, you're going to talk to them about this. They're going to help you sort through it, right? Take the time out to do that, but don't stay there too long. Then you're going to direct your mind and heart to something more productive, which is where you want to go. Where do you want this chariot to take you? It could be better relationships, more, healthier, higher vibrational relationships, uh, more money, a better job, a new business, better resources, whatever it is. Assess what that is and really put together what it is you want because your chariot is waiting for you. But at the same time, make sure that you're not adhering too closely to where you want this chariot to go because there's got to be somewhat of a degree of allowing the chariot to take you where it wants to take you. Part of it is your will and the other part is God's will. Just make sure that you're, in sync with God's will. And how do you know that? High Priestess here. High Priestess is always in sync with God's will. Why? Because she's got a direct line to spirit, always. She never hangs up that phone. She's always on the phone with spirit. The deck messed up here. Okay. Clarification, please, Jared. Hmm. Okay, Seven of Wands. So, okay. Two of Wands. Okay. You see how we're going from swords to wands now? The Fool. Fool's another card that's been coming out a lot. Two of Wands as well. Very nice. Two more, please. Okay. One more. Actually, we'll wait for that last one. Any of these reversed? No, they're all upright. The devil's upright too. Okay. Seven of Wands is talking about you you managing your everyday tasks and how and see how it's attached to the Eight of Swords here. I told you that this is, all kinds of thoughts that don't serve you, illusions, limiting beliefs, that kind of thing. This energy combines, these two energies combined are talking about how you're building something for yourself to create something new and how it's not easy, right? Pulling away from this energy can feel difficult, right? And here you are building something new, feeling difficulty. But God never puts anything in front of you that you can't handle. Here he is handling these wands. There's a lot to handle here, but he's okay. He's on top of it all. Two of Wands is about you making a choice and make the right choice for yourself. The Fool is about you having faith in moving forward. The Nine of Pentacles is about arriving at your comfort, your luxurious atmosphere, your abundance, the queen of your castle type of energy, right? And it's no mistake here that attached to, it's got these four cards surrounding it, right? I told you I'd get back to these two. Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles are very similar energies. They are both enjoying their abundance. And Queen of Pentacles talks about being confident in acquiring her pentacles when she needs them. She knows how to get them, she's confident, she's not stressed. She's happy and luxuriating in her throne. Nine of Pentacles is the same energy, but it's like, I have no worries. Everything's wonderful. I'm enjoying it. That does not mean that you're never going to have any worries, but it's that feeling of not being stressed, of being able to handle life's, pitfalls with ease and with trust and spirit and that kind of thing, where that makes you feel like there are no worries. Here we have the devil in the center, and it's on top of the King of Cups. This is about mastery of bad habits, of limiting beliefs, of all of these things that we talked about with these swords, and that moving forward, the things that derailed us and stumped us and angered us, filled us with anxiety, won't do that anymore. We have gained mastery over them. We have learned to free ourselves from them. And then moving forward, when that energy comes back around, we won't be enslaved by them again, right? And I just had a crown in my uh, head, in my mind. Spirit just showed me the keep calm uh, prince from the UK. Um, you get to mastery of this energy by the King of Cups. Keep calm. You know, no matter what happens, you're fine. You know that you can handle it. That's what this is. One more spirit, please, for the High Priestess. King of Swords. Reversed. Hmm. Okay, good. A strong connection with your intuition is always going to bring clarity. That's number one. But the King of Swords is talking about um, making the right choices. King of Swords is about discernment. And there are so many other areas that the King of Swords fits in this reading. You can lift him up and place him in different spots here where he's useful, especially with the devil here, right? Because the King of Swords, you would never catch the King of Swords naked and tethered to the devil. He's too smart for that, right? So here is the clarity that I was talking about here when I was talking about the devil. The wisdom, too, is another word, right? And moving forward, we won't let these energies catch us again. When we come across toxicity, we cut it out of our lives, that kind of a thing. And I know that's soothing words for a Libra, because the last thing that you guys like to deal with are things like toxicity. It brings terrible imbalance into your life. And Libras hate that. But Libra, this is talking about coming into the energy of being a more and more skilled Libra, right? Where you are able to create balance in your life with ease. Okay, Libra? So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section. I answer every single comment with glee. Um, I love engaging with you guys, and really, it does a lot for me and my morale. So don't hold back, please, because it brightens my day. Um, I've already told you about your sun. You've already watched moon rising and north nodes. Go calculate those and come back to the Healing Grasshopper channel and listen to the corresponding videos. I've also made tidy playlists for you to listen to, so have a look at those. If you want to help me out, you can turn on your autoplay and put on my videos as background noise or even while you sleep because watch hours do a lot for the channel. It really helps support me and the channel. So I thank you in advance. I also thank you in advance for liking and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs and beyond. So it is a very quick gesture that costs you nothing but means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I would like to give a shout out to all my viewers. My American viewers, I love you and thank you for your support. But also my foreign viewers, you continue to blow me away. I look at my analytics and I'm like, oh my God, Canada, Australia, Brazil, the Philippines, India. Like, it's unbelievable. Thank you. Um, for coming, spending time with me and subscribing. It's crazy to me. I appreciate you. But I also want to let you know that although dubbing is expensive, at some point, hopefully I will be able to afford it once the channel grows, and I will be dubbing in your languages. So, but for now, bear with me and continue with the subtitles. Okay? Um, I love and adore you all. Love, light, and many blessings.